Welcome back everyone. Today we are continuing our journey into the Pokemon world, and where we left off yesterday is this first Rio trainer battle. Yesterday we also fought May, but that was kind of an introduction. This time we are going to be fighting a Rio trainer, I guess for Rio. Why did I say so many Rios in that sentence? But yeah, so you can see this guy has 2 Pokemons now, whereas yesterday when we fought May, she only had the 1. So to win a trainer battle, we need to defeat both or all the Pokemon the trainer has. So in this case, this guy has 2 Pokemon, so we need to beat both of them. And I don't think I expanded my team yesterday, so we're going to be doing a little bit more of that. I think today we'll try to fill up at least 2 more slots on our team while we journey to the next major city. And Pokemon's just turn-based combat, so normally if we didn't have this kind of difficulty mod, it would be really boring because you just wait for the animation to play out, and because the player is almost always overpowered, you will always win all the fights. But yeah, this beginning of the fight isn't quite that difficult. But when we get to the kind of like the midpoint of this video, then we'll be facing a mid-boss inside a forest. And that's when I'll be going through a little bit more of the combat of how Pokemon actually works. And you guys can see I'm just spamming Absorb over here. It does decent damage, and it also heals me back up. And speaking of expanding my team, I actually forgot to pick up some extra Pokemon yesterday. So one of the new members, I want to get it over by this Route 103. And this is just some random Pokemon that I guess I can beat to level up. And since we are still at the beginning of the game, I'll just be recording myself fighting most of these random battles. But as we get later on and we get more familiar with the system, then I'll try to cut out most of these grinding that I'm doing, just to make it less painful to watch. But over here by this kind of, I guess this would be what, like a water, like a sea? But that's not exactly a sea. Oh, and inside your bag, you can actually register your items. That way, every time you want to use them, you don't have to just open your bag. So I just registered that old rod that we got from Mom yesterday. And now if I press the select key, then we'll just be bringing out the old rod just without having to go into the bag. And this is one of the new members that I want to add to our team. This is a Tentacle. It's a decent water type special defender, and when we get to the mid boss, I'll go through what each different stat actually does. But the way catching Pokemon works in these older games is you have to bring them. No, that's not correct. So each Pokemon have an individual chance to be caught, and that chance is factored into whether your catching is successful, dependent on how much health the Pokemon has remaining, and whether the Pokemon also has a status effect that's on them. So right now, because this is kind of like a starting area, all the Pokemon in this area have a relatively high chance to be caught just by themselves, and if I bring it down to red health like this, I can catch it fairly easily even without inflicting a status on them. And I'll be using this Tentacle at least for a decently long time before I can get a suitable replacement to swap him out. And because we took some damage in that fight, we can go back to this Poke Center to heal up. And as I get my team to be set more in motion, I'll try to add them to the right side of the screen, like how some other people like to do it. But right now, because I'll just keep swapping my team in and out, there's not much point to be doing it. This is another trainer battle. Most of these trainer battles are dotted around the map, that way you can use them to level up and gain some money for you to buy extra supplies as you travel along to the to the next part of the map. And right now I'm swapping in my Tentacle, 1 because I want him to get some more experience, and 2 because my Trico doesn't do that well against any of these poison moves or bug moves that this guy can actually use. And not to mention, bugs also resist my absorb, so if I was fighting him with my Trico, I'll have to be just using my auto attack on him, which would make this fight take forever. So that's one down, and because Trico showed up when this other Pokemon first got thrown out, before I swapped in my Tentacle, Trico also gets 100% experience for beating this other Pokemon, which is a really nice change that the creators of the mod did. Wait, no, I think that might be in vanilla. And right now my Tentacle is getting low on health, so I'm going to be swapping him out. And you see that message that says my Trico's speed sharply fell. Each time a game displays that message, it would mean your speed gets either lowered by, in that case it got lowered by 2 stages, and each stage actually lowers your speed by 50%. And alternatively, if your speed gets raised by 1 stage, then your speed would be raised by 50%. And I think one of the beat bosses actually has this kind of mechanic, so I'll make sure to go through that in a little bit more detail when we do get to them. Would I be able to swap in my Tentacle one more time before he takes too much damage? Let's try. And you see, like, this time Tentacle's speed actually fell sharply. That means it got lowered by 2 stages instead of just a regular 1 that some other moves would be doing. So right now I'm actually at what, like 25% speed right now. Good thing this fight should be over after one more exit from my Tentacle. And because we took so much damage from that fight, and because I don't want to back to the Poke Center, we are going to be using this Poke File over here. And up there we have one more trainer fight before we reach the next town. And over here, I think this is our first set of berries. And berries are basically, well, there are a bunch of uses for the berries, but most commonly berries are used as held items for Pokemon. And held items are items that can trigger inside of a fight when a certain condition is met. So in this case, most of these berries either trigger when you reach 20% health, or they trigger when you get hit by a certain attack that the berry actually works on. And after we have taken the berries, we can actually replant them back to the soil. Oh, that's the wrong berry that I planted. Oh, I can't take it out now. So after planting the berries, you can actually wait. I don't remember how many hours it is, but basically after a certain amount of time, then the berries will be sprouting back into a full tree again, and you can harvest them for extra berries, and you can just keep repeating this process. And I think the squirrel is a trainer as well. We have reached another town, but this is not the town that I'm trying to reach yet. So we're just going to be taking kind of like a mid-stop, heal up, and do some extra story things, and then we'll be packing up and going forwards. And I think I mentioned this yesterday, but there are a couple story gates that you will not be able to get past without doing a certain story mission. So like this guy will always stop you if you don't get past a story check. Yeah, so this guy actually wants us to go in and check out the gym, and this is also the town where our father runs the gym. And if we try again to get past this guy, then he'll always bring us back to the gym. So let's go in and see what our dad has to say to us. Well, if it isn't Alex, so you are all finished moving in. I'm surprised that you managed to get here by yourself. Oh, I see. You are with your Pokemon. Then I guess you are going to become a trainer like me, Alex. That's great news. I will be looking forward to it. I'd like to get a Pokemon, please. You are right. You are Wally, right? I'm going to go stay with my relatives in Turf Town? Whatever. I thought I would be lonely by myself, so I wanted to take a Pokemon along. But I've never caught a Pokemon before. I don't know how. I see. Alex, you heard that, right? Go with Wally and make sure that he safely catches a Pokemon. Why don't you do it, Dad? Aren't you more experienced? Wally, here, I'll loan you my Pokemon. Oh wow, a Pokemon. I'll give you a Pokeball too. Now you go for it. Oh wow, thank you. Alex, would you really come with me? Yeah? And this is kind of like a tutorial for catching Pokemon, which we've already successfully caught a couple. Alex, Pokemon hide in tall grass like this. Yeah, I know. Don't they? Yes, they do. Please watch me and see if I can catch one properly. And there's no way for Wally to fail catching a Pokemon. And he'll always be catching a Rouse. And I think this Rouse will always be male as well. Oh, and that time the routes use double team. Double team has a unique, well, no, double team isn't unique, but double team raises your evasion stat by 1, and evasion stat is unique in that each stage, instead of raising by 50%, it raises by 33%. So if you are at max stages of evasion, then you will only get a 3 times increase to your evasion as opposed to the 4 times that you would get for other stats. But I think they disabled all the accuracy related moves in this game, so it doesn't really matter. Wow, I did it! It's my Pokemon! Yeah, it's like you're talking like you've never caught one before. Oh, I guess he haven't caught one before. Alex, thank you. Let's go back to the gym. Yep, that's. So, did it work out? Thank you. Yes, it did. Here's your Pokemon back. Alex, thank you for coming along with me. You two are why I was able to catch my Pokemon. I promise I'll take really good care of it. Oh, my mom is waiting for me, so I have to go. Bye, Alex. You didn't say bye to my dad. Now, Alex, if you want to become a strong trainer, here's my advice. Head for Rustboro City beyond this town, and there's also a forest in between. There you should challenge the gym leader Roxanne. After her, go on to other Pokemon gyms and defeat their leaders. Collect badges from them, understood? Of course, I'm a gym leader too. We'll battle one day, Alex. That is actually the 5th gym leader that we'll be fighting. But that's only after you've become stronger. Yep, so we'll be coming back to that a little bit after. And like Dad said, today we are going to try to reach the next town where the actual gym leader is before we actually call a stop. So now that I picked up a new water type, I want to pick up like a flying type for my team. And I think there's also a fire type that I can pick up. Wait, what is this guy doing? Oh, this guy's searching for new aspiring trainer, I remember. Well, maybe not. Your clothes aren't all that dirty. You're either a rookie trainer or maybe you're just an ordinary kid. But can't an ordinary kid just be a rookie trainer? Can he be both? I'm roaming the land in search of talented trainers. I'm sorry to have taken your time. Well, you just see, we'll become the champion one day. If you are going to throw a Pokeball, weaken the wild Pokemon first. It will be easier to catch if it has been poisoned, burned or lulled to sleep. Sleep is the most effective as a status for catching, but if it has been paralyzed or burned or poisoned, then those status are good as well. But being burned and being poisoned obviously also means you are on a timer before you have to catch them. Otherwise, the damage from the poison or the burn will just take out the Pokemon. And over here, I want to pick up 2 more Pokemon before I go and fight any more trainers. Do I want a ground type? Not really. Oh, and I should swap to my Tentacle for extra experience. Oh wow, I'm taking forever to get a flying type. I guess if this takes too long, then I might cut this out. That way we are not just watching me run around the tall grass trying to get the Pokemon that I need. Yeah, you know what? I'll just keep running around the tall grass for a little bit, and I'll cut out all the extra bits where I'm not encountering the Pokemon that I actually need. So I'll be back in just a bit. Alright, we are back with an actual flying type this time. This is kind of a more obscure flying type from Gen 5, and this is something that I'll be picking up as my flying type team member, at least until I get a better option to replace him later on. And most people running the Gen 3 games would actually run with a Swallow, so I don't really want to do that, even though that's probably the best option if you look at the stats and how quickly it can evolve, just because everybody else is doing it and it would be incredibly boring otherwise. So I'm coming in with a less optimal option, but hopefully me building around this less optimal option will also make it a little bit more interesting to play. So that's one more team member added to our team, and I also want to pick up a flying type. Not flying type, I want to pick up a fire type. There we go. Oh, and Azurill can also be interesting, because Azurill can get huge power and do incredible physical damage. So we'll pick him up as well. Well, I guess in this case it's a her. Oh, I guess we won't be picking her up at all, because I just knocked her out. Oops. Litleo. We now, in this patch, also gave the evolution of this Litleo a buff, so we can pick him up as our fire type team member, and after that I just have to do a little bit of leveling and we can continue onwards. And hopefully I don't knock him out this time. Please don't go down. Alright, this should be perfect. Alright, now that we have our team mostly assembled, let me come back and heal up a little bit. I'll do some more level grinding off screen, and once I'm done level grinding, we can continue forward. Alright, we are done with level grinding. We've picked up a new route of our own, and we might be adding him to our team a little bit later on. We might not, but for now it's helpful to have him in the party, just passively leeching experience. We got our Litleo to level 10, And we also picked up a new move to go along with it. We picked up Headbutt, which is an upgrade towards the auto attack that we would normally be using if we were at a lower level. And we also got our Pido, our flying type, to level 9, but no new moves just yet, so we'll hopefully be picking up new moves as we venture forward and level up. But with that said, we are good to leave the Poke Center and continue where we left off. Oh, and we can actually visit Wally in his house over here. Wait, where's Wally? Yeah, so this guy's saying Wally has been frail and sickly ever since he was a baby. So they sent him to live with his relatives in Verdant Turf Town for a while. The air is a lot cleaner over there than it is here. Really? I find that really hard to believe. We are like pretty much in the wild. Oh, what's that? Where's Wally? He's already left, our Wally. I wonder where he could have gotten now. Wait, he's sickly and frail, but you sent him on a journey all by himself. How does that work? Wally was really happy when he told us that he caught a Pokemon. It's been ages since I've seen him smile like that. And Wally actually goes through a pretty cool arc throughout the entire story. And so let's see what can we find over here. Traveling is wonderful. When I was young, I roamed the sea and the mountains. That's really impressive, considering the entire realm is basically inhabited by dangerous monsters. I wish I could go on an adventure with some Pokemon. Crawl through some damp grass, climb rocky, rugged mountains, cross the raging seas, wander about in dark caves, and sometimes even get a little homesick. It must be fabulous to travel. Depends on the person you are. I personally don't like travel all that much. Norman became our town's new gym leader. I think he called his family over here from the Johto region. Yeah, so we are actually a new arrival to the entire region, not just our new hometown of Little Roots. We actually have to pack up and move across the ocean to get over to this Hoenn region. I battled Norman once, but whew, he was way too strong. How would I put it? I just got the feeling that he lives for Pokemon. Yeah, that's why my mom is cheating with every other man that he can find. Every other man that she can find. I think I confused the gender a little bit. Oh no, I'm not a trainer. But that's right, if trainers lock eyes, it's a challenge to battle. If you don't want to battle, stay out of their line of sight. And like this guy over here, if he doesn't spot us with his line of sight, then he's not going to challenge us. But if we step in front of him, then he's gonna come and challenge us and give us some free experience and money. Oh, he has his Leo of his own. So because Leo is a fire type, and most likely he's going to be using some kind of fire type move, we are actually good to swap out into our Tentacool, which is going to resist any fire move that he does. And the way damage is calculated in Pokemon, for people that don't know, is that your Pokemon has its own typing. So right now, if I go to summary, my Tentacool is a water and poison type. So that means he's going to have a resistance against any other kind of moves that are weak to water type or poison type. But if we get hit by something that's strong against water or poison type, then we'll get a damage intake increase of either 2 times or 4 times, depending on how strong that move is against water type or poison type. So for this typing, the maximum damage intake multiply we will be getting is 2 times. But if, say for example, well, I guess we don't have anything that's 4 times weak to a move yet. I'll go through it when we get one. But any move that says it is super effective, like us using this bubble, which is a water type move, against this Leo, which is a fire type, will be minimum getting a 2 times increase in his damage intake. And the damage intake is actually not the same as the attack power of the move, but I'll go through that when we get to the mini boss a little bit up ahead. And right now Seedot is a grass type, and grass type, any kind of grass type move has a 2 times damage increase against water type, but because we are also a poison type, and poison types resist any kind of grass type, so if he uses a grass type attack on us, we'll only be taking neutral damage, just because the resistance and the vulnerability will cancel each other out. So I guess a good way to think about it is that your vulnerability can actually stack with each other, and your resistances can also stack up to a maximum of 4 times. So right now he's using a move called Bite. Bite would actually kind of store all the damage that you take, and the more damage you take during this kind of bite period, the more your attack power for the move that comes out releasing all your stored energy would be. So right now if I didn't take him out, then when he releases his energy the next turn, then I'll be taking massive damage. But good thing my fire moves just took him out instantly. I'm challenging another trainer over here to get some more experience. And Magikarp by itself is not threatening at all, but at level 20, a Magikarp can evolve into a Gyarados, which is an incredibly good Pokemon with incredibly good stats and an incredibly well distribution of all the stats. So right now this Magikarp is basically free, we can do whatever we want with him. So I'm just going to take him out really quickly. And I don't think this guy can actually challenge us. Yeah, he's not fighting. Okay. And how much damage did I take in all those fights? Oh, I guess I can use a potion over here. And over here we have some more berries. And I think this trainer is unique. So this Bunnieri, I guess. This Bunnieri will always scale to the level of your party. So when I was doing a practice run a little bit earlier, this Bunnieri was like level 9. But now because my highest level Pokemon is at 14, he is also at 14 now. But there's nothing too special about it. We just take him out and we can be on our way. And if we took too much damage, then we can go back to the Poke Center and heal up before we head into the forest. I might have to swap out after this. Oh, I crit as well. Should I swap out? Yeah, let's swap out. Wait, I think I took too much damage, so I can't actually... you know what? I think this would be a good time for me to put up the calculator and just show off what how to use the calculator. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so we are back with the Pokemon calculator. This is something people made for online battles fighting with real players, but we can, over here, we can also use it to calculate whether our Tentacool will live the next attack or not. So if we go back to our game, we can see that our Tentacool is at level 10 and he's at 14 points of health. So we can just put that in to our calculator, and then we can do the same with the Bunnieri. That I'm so not used to saying this name. And we can see that the pound attack that he was using would be a guaranteed 1-hit KO. It would do at least 15 points of damage. So right now it basically means we will have to switch. And because a Bunnieri also has 85 speed as opposed to our 70, the Bunnieri will always attack before us, unless we have some kind of priority attack. But our Tentacool doesn't have any kind of priority attack, so the Bunnieri will always be moving before we do. So we should be switching to a different Pokemon just so our Tentacool doesn't die. So back to the game, and we are going to be switching. I think our Pidove is slow as well. But I think he doesn't take as much damage, so we should be okay. Yeah, if we don't take him out now, then we'll have to switch again. And this time, our Trico actually has a priority move now. So Quick Attack is considered a priority move. It has an attack priority of +1, and later on we'll get other attacks that have a +2 or even a +3 or +5 priority. In fact, the attack is kind of a protect move. It has a +5 priority. So if 2 attacks have a neutral priority, then whichever Pokemon moves first is determined by the Pokemon's speed stat. But if an attack has a positive priority, like +1, then the Pokemon that's using an attack with a positive priority will always be moving first. And the same goes for a Pokemon with an attack that has a negative priority, then that Pokemon will always be moving last. So this time we are not taking the chance of the Bunnieri moving before us, so we're just going to be using a +1 priority Quick Attack to take them out. Even though Quick Attack would actually do less damage, it doesn't matter because the Bunnieri is already at such low health. And I think we'll be taking a stop over here. Actually, I was hoping we could finish the forest and get up to the next town, but it looks like we've been going at it for quite some time already, and my throat is really starting to hurt. So I'll be taking a save over here tomorrow, and off screen I'll be doing some more grinding, and I'll be healing back up our party. Just so tomorrow when we start, we are going into the forest fully rested and ready. So I'll be taking a save over here. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.